The connection's not too good. Huh? Everybody. All right, we're live.
All right, we'll let these folks that are trickling in from the lobby grab some seats. Welcome, Florida. Welcome, Miami. Yeah? What's up, bro? How you doing, man? It's good to see you guys. See a lot of familiar faces and a lot of new faces. Cool. Get these guys in from the lobby. Hey, Yessie, will you do me a favor? Just tell them to get their asses in seats. Tell them, get your ass in here and sit down. I'm joking, but I'm not joking. All right. Cool. You guys ready to buy some land and build some houses here in Miami? Of course. You guys ready? Yeah. You guys ready to do some multifamily here in Miami? Yes. All right. We got people coming in from all over the country, and even a few people from outside of the country here this weekend. The real reason you guys are here is really, I want to tell you guys I saved seats for you guys for this weekend for our Build Wealth workshop, but we really didn't. We're sold out. So we're going to make seats for you guys. We don't have any saved. We're literally oversold, but we're going to make seats for you guys because a lot of you guys that are in the Miami area, that are building, are probably going to want to be a part of what we have going on this weekend. We don't do these very often. This is our fourth workshop that we've ever hosted, and I only do them on weekends that my kids are available or we have availability as a family. My family's supposed to be out here with me right now, but they're not because my kids are busier than I am. It's the only bye week this weekend for my son. He plays football, and everything that I do revolves 100% around my family first, and then second comes you guys. Because as much as I love pouring into you guys, I don't have to sleep by any of you guys. Does that make sense?
Of course.
All right. So my family always comes first in everything that we're doing. So I want to come into Miami and pour into you guys. And one of the reasons that we picked Miami is we landed up doing the San Francisco Bay Area about 6-9 months ago. What was it? 6, 7? It was when did we do Bay Area? Was that January? Yeah, 10 months ago. Damn, 9 months ago. And California, truth be told, is our largest community that's building nationwide. You guys are in second place here in Florida to California. So I said, okay, let's come to Florida and let's get you guys pulling out as much builds out of the ground as California. Does that make sense? Okay, now, before we get started, let's tell you guys, how many of you guys first and foremost found me for the first time in the last 7 days? Raise your hand. Good. About a third of you guys. That's good. So about 40% of our marketing dollars are going to brand new people who don't know who I am. So that's perfect. Okay. There's 8 billion people on this earth. If we're not expanding our marketing and what you're doing, you ain't doing anything. And for a lot of you guys that are looking for financing, you guys are looking to try to get projects. One of the reasons that I started doing this back in 2018 was exactly for that reason, was to get bandwidth to more investors, to get bandwidth to be able to expand our company. And we've been very successful doing it. So we have put a lot of time into the development of our personal brand because of what we do on the development end when we raise capital. And so one of the things is we run through this today, and you guys are sitting back going, okay, why is this guy coming in and pouring into us? It's because if I help you guys go out and truly make 300 grand on a project, 500 grand on a project, and you guys want to go in and get into multifamily, how many of you guys want to get into multifamily, by the way? How many of you guys would love to get into multifamily game? Okay. So about 2/3, if not more, of the entire room, 100% of you guys should have your hands up, because really the multi-unit real estate game is really where it's at, because that's where passive income comes in. You make money 5 different ways in commercial real estate, guys. Five different ways. In a multifamily there's such a housing deficit. It's just a great asset class to be in. The problem is there's some seats up here, guys. We got one right here. We got one right here. We got a couple over here. We got one right here. You guys, we got some right here. So come on up here, guys. It's going to fill in completely in the next 10 minutes or so. And it'll be standing room only. So if you guys want a seat, come up here and grab a seat now, because I will fill these. They will fill up here in the next few minutes. Okay. Now, there's 5 ways to make money in multifamily, guys. People ask me, Jerome, why do you still build homes? We had stopped building homes back in 2018 for about 2 years. And then I realized, I was like, shit, if I'm teaching people how to build houses, I better be taking some out of the ground. Plus COVID hit. And where we were making about 190 to 200 grand a house, we started making about 300 grand per house building the exact same homes post-COVID. I was like, well, shit, I'm going to build a couple a year, because if I can make 300 plus $1,000 on every single home that I'm building. I build a couple a year. It just adds an extra $600 to $1 million to our bottom line. And so we make so much money on houses, especially because the housing prices went up. You watch and wait what happens when interest rates come back down, guys. Housing is not expensive. I want you guys to understand this. Housing is not expensive based on the price of the home itself. Housing is expensive based on the cost of debt. Does that make sense? Okay. Does that make sense? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, it's the debt that makes everything expensive. Commercial assets, multifamily, single family, all of it. And you can't build it if you can't get the financing for it. Does that make sense?
Correct.
You can't stabilize it unless you can stabilize it at an interest rate that makes sense. The biggest problem that most people have that are even sitting in this room today is that you weren't taught the money game and the banking game. In fact, I bet you anything that we probably have 20-year, 25-year, and 30-year veterans in construction that are sitting here right now. And the reason that they're here is to learn how to get financing on bigger deals so they don't have to deal with the bullshit dealing with customers. Yes or no? Yeah?
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. Okay. Because if you didn't have to deal with customers, why would you? Right? Yeah?
Yep.
I started a concrete company, guys, back in 1998. That concrete company, its very first year, did $1.7 million in business. We netted probably about 400 grand that year. Now, that company grew to a $14 million a year business. And in COVID, we were ready to sell it. It now does about $7-8 million a year. I have no desire to take it back to 14 million. I should have sold it during COVID. We just didn't know what to expect. That business funded a lot of what we have gotten to today. And now today we hold and own $600 million worth of commercial real estate, predominantly in the multifamily sector, although we still have about 1 million square feet of retail. The way we did that was through single family homes, guys, building single family homes, taking the profits from single family homes and deploying it into commercial assets. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So why is it so important that you guys pay attention to the single family game? Because it's what I teach my kids. And I tell my kids, if you want to get out of high school and really do something, I don't discourage anybody from going to college. I think it's great for certain things, but really where the money is in the ground up game. How many of you guys do fix and flips in here? Raise your hands. Okay. So I did fix and flips pre-2018. I don't do them anymore. If there was great money in fix and flips, guys, guess what I would be doing? I'd be doing fix and flips. The reason I don't do fix and flips is because it's like playing Russian roulette. How many of you guys know what Russian roulette is? So you have a 6-chamber gun. You put 6 bullets. You put 1 bullet, and you hit the revolver, and you put a gun to your head. And you just hope that it's not the one with a bullet in it. Okay, that's Russian roulette. That's fix and flipping. Because when you fix and flip, guys, what ends up happening is, and you guys attest me, tell me if I'm wrong. You buy a property, you sit back and you go, okay, I'm gonna get this house, I'm gonna put $40,000 into it, I'm gonna flip it for $100,000 more, and I'm gonna make 60 grand. Then the inspector shows up, and you weren't expecting to have to upgrade the mechanical or the electrical or whatever else, the plumbing. And now you have to put another 20 grand into upgrading it. And now you're like, well, damn, my profits just went to $40,000. Then all of a sudden the market turns sideways a little bit. Interest rates go up and you have to cut your price by another $10,000. So either you land up selling that house for a very modest profit of 10, 20, maybe $30,000 in profit, or you land up just breaking even. You guys ever been there? Okay. And then when you get to the end of that house, you sit back and go, okay, I think I can do one more before the market compresses on me. I think I can do one more home. Right? And then sooner or later, one blows up on you. And so the biggest thing, guys, is don't do fix and flips. If there was money in fix and flips, I would be doing it. The only reason that people do fix and flips is one reason, guys, because you're buying a tangible asset. The reason you don't do ground up, I'll tell you why. It's because you don't understand the game and you don't have a tangible asset. So what's hard for most people is to committing to an asset that doesn't exist yet. And because they can't touch it, they can't feel it. So the biggest issue is that they don't have that tangible asset. So they feel like a fix and flip is safer because they have an asset that they can touch and feel. So today we're going to learn how to make a non-existing asset become tangible. Is that cool?
Yeah.
and how to make profit from it. But more than that, we're going to talk about money. And I'm going to talk about money all day long, and I'm going to talk about financing and banks all day long. There's some seats up here, guys. I got one right up here. Anybody that wants to really learn and pay attention, come up here. There's one right here, and one right here. So anybody that's alone, come fill these seats up here before you guys sit on those back ones. Okay, now I'm going to talk hard about money today, and I'm going to talk hard about banks and financing. Okay, and here's why: because you weren't taught this stuff in school. And the biggest problem with our school systems is they don't teach you guys anything about what America really stands for. They teach you guys how to do math. My daughter gets it. My daughter's like me. I was dyslexic. I don't know if my daughter's dyslexic, but she's always had a harder time in school. Like she has to work her ass off. My son doesn't fucking pick up the book, and that kid gets straight A's. I'm like, that wasn't me. He's just smart like that. He's lucky. God bless his heart. He's lucky. My daughter, poor thing, she's up till 11, 12 o'clock at night doing homework. And then she goes like this. And I go, you paying attention, baby girl? She goes, looks at me, she goes, Dad, I'm not going to use this in life. She tells me that. She goes, I'm never going to use this in life. And I'll say, you're 100% right. I go to bed. I go, I'll finish up her homework for her in algebra, and I'll just go to bed. Right? Shit, man. And I tell my daughter, so I tell my son, because he's doing Scotch, so, okay, his grades drop below 3.5. I'm like, Jacob, you ain't working hard enough. I said, it doesn't even take work for him to get a 3.5. My daughter, I'm like, baby, C's get degrees, baby. Just get through it, man. Like, just get through it, man. Like, that's it. It's just the difference between, you guys got kids? Yeah?
Yeah.
It's just the difference between kids, right? But my daughter gets it. What she has, though, my son has it too, just not like my daughter. My daughter's like a mini-me. She's like, she gets the common sense game. So you can't really mess with my daughter too much, because what you do, she's like, she'll just look at you sideways and be like, in her brain, she's thinking, you're kind of sideways and kind of fucked. I'm not going to buy it. She's not really saying that, like that's in my words, but that's what she's thinking inside her brain, because my daughter has great common sense. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. If they taught you this in school, you guys wouldn't be sitting here today. The reason you're sitting here today is because they don't teach you the money game in school, and they don't teach you the finance game in school. It's kind of like going to Las Vegas, Nevada. You go into Las Vegas, Nevada, and if you understood the house set of rules on how the casinos make billions of dollars with only a 4% advantage over you guys would be living in Las Vegas, not Miami. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. The reason that most contractors aren't doing the ground up game, and if they are doing it, they're doing it for customers, is because they don't understand the money game. They don't understand financing. They don't understand banking. So today, I want to get you guys clarity on a lot of that. Okay? That make sense? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, we hit on a specific demographic in the market. Most people think that because interest rates went down a quarter basis point when Jerome Powell did a press release a week and a half ago, they're like, okay, cool. And now I could buy a home. No, you can't. Mortgage rates went up when interest rates went down, guys. So it puts more of a downward pressure on us. Most people don't know that, though, because they're looking at it sideways. And so when I'm talking to you guys, everything that we talk about today is going to be asset-based. It's going to be comp-based. Everything that we're talking about, guys, is going to be based on the value of one thing, the value of an asset. Make sense? Okay. Now, when we go in and we're looking at stuff, banks, what they need is they need comps. They need to know what this stuff costs, guys. They need to know what the money is, okay? And they're not looking at you. How many of you guys have an 800 credit score in here? I'm going to keep my hand up proudly. For the first time in my life, I have an 803 credit score, man. I've never had an 803 credit score, and I actually felt guilty. I was like, I told my wife, I said, fuck, I got an 803. Hey, guys, sorry if I use profanity. Do I have your guys' permission just to be myself? Is that okay? I don't get to do this in my house because my wife will kick my ass. So I'm going to do it with you guys. Is that okay? Can I just be myself over here? Do I have your permission? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Because if you guys get offended by me cussing, you're not going to make it anyways. Just leave. Okay? I mean, truth be told, this is a hard industry. Life's hard. I'll tell you, it's a real business. Don't get butthurt because I use a little bit of profanity. I'm going to use it. I'm going to have some fun with you guys today. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Now, for the first time in my life, I have an 803 credit score. How I got it, I have no friggin' idea. Because I use my credit like a stolen car. I just beat the shit out of it all the time. And I just have that much projects going on. So I don't know how I got an 8. I told my wife, I was like, damn, I'm not working hard enough, man. I said, we didn't pull enough projects out of the ground last year. I said, they haven't ran my credit enough. I said, I know I can bring that back down into the 700s. I'm positive I can do that. Okay? They don't care about your 800 credit score. And that's why. Because what they're looking at, guys, is they're looking at the comps based on an asset, okay? They're looking at what it's worth, guys. They want to know that their money is backed and protected with the value of that asset. You're just a check writer. And nowadays, you're not even that because everything's electronic. So all you are is like you're like a fossil that houses money for them to take from your bank account. That's all. Really, what the bank's looking at is they're looking at what the asset is worth, and it's all based on comps. That's banking, guys. And to your disadvantage, they didn't teach you this in school. You guys spend 13,000 hours in an education system that doesn't even spend 1 hour teaching you guys about life, about money, about banking. If you're lucky, they teach you how to write a check. Okay? That's it. Right or wrong?
Right.
Okay? You spend 13,000 hours from kindergarten to 12th grade, and they don't teach you about banking and lending. Then you go into the open market, and your first education in real estate is conforming lending. It's how you go out and buy a house, a traditional home. And it's called conforming lending. So they teach you about your debt to income ratio and your credit score. Why? Because those are the only two things that the bank has to hold on that house, because it's the only type of real estate that's non-income producing. And so now they're looking at you. And the magnifying glass is all on you because you have a worthless asset because you live there. It's not cash producing for the bank. So they're looking at you. And now, because you're going in and you think that that's the way banks lend money, you stay there mentally. And that's what restricts you from going out and getting lending on assets. And real estate is that you think they're looking at you as the actual conforming lending type model to go buy assets, guys, and they're not. They don't give a shit about you. What they care about is they care about the value of the asset. Let me prove it to you, okay? 2019, COVID hits. What happens to interest rates, guys, in 2020? What happens to them? They go up or they go down? They go down, right? Okay, now when the debt goes down and the cost of money goes down, the ability to sell that asset at a higher valuation goes up. So when interest rates go down, these are interest rates, values go up, okay? Now, when this happens, guys, the cap rates also land up coming down with interest rates, okay? Because cap rates and interest rates, these two are in alignment with each other. You cannot service the debt of an asset unless the actual asset produces enough revenue to cover that debt. But when interest rates go down, you don't need as much revenue. Now you can cover the debt with less revenue. So if you have a 3% cap rate, guys, how many of you guys have no frigging clue what I'm talking about when I say cap rate? Raise your hand. Okay? Good. That's why you're here. Okay? And I know that probably half this audience, most of you guys are fucking lying. You guys just aren't raising your hand. Okay? If I gave this marker to you and said, hey, come explain a cap rate, there's probably 2 people in this entire audience that could do it. And they're probably part of my community. Right? So here's the thing, guys. When we come in, guys, and we're looking at an asset, guys, the cap rate is the rate of return that property brings back, provided you pay cash for it, okay? So it's your rate of return. So let's say, for example, you go in and you buy $1 million worth of stock in Boeing. Don't buy Boeing, guys. Don't buy Boeing. Don't buy Boeing. I'm just using it as an example, okay? Let's say that stock theoretically, because it's totally theoretical, goes up by 6%, okay? Because Boeing's not going up right now, okay? But let's say it goes up by 6%. That is your cap rate. Okay, that's your rate of return. That's the equivalence in real estate. Make sense? Now, when you go in, guys, if the cap rate goes down, you can sell it for a lower, if the interest rate goes down, you can sell it for a lower cap rate. Now, 2020, what were interest rates at, guys?
2.9.
About 3%? Okay, now, I'm going to hit this real quick. Pull out your phones, guys. Okay? The value of an asset equals its net income, its net operating income, divided by its cap rate, okay? This is a formula you should know forever, guys. If you don't know this, write it down. You need to know this formula indefinitely. That formula is your underwriting formula for all commercial real estate. That is the basis for all underwriting and what banks utilize to assess your projects. It's not your credit report. It's not your debt to income ratio. It's the value of the asset. It's how they actually underwrite assets. Okay. So when we go in 2020, let's say for sake of example, we come in and Miami's a little different. Rents are just high here. So let's say for sake of example, let's use a national average of like $1,750 a month. Let's take like a little 10-unit apartment complex. That asset's going to bring in about $200,000 a year in gross revenue. If the expenses cost about 30% to be able to pay property taxes, insurance, landscaping, cleanup, broken toilets, broken light bulbs, all the expenses, guys, let's say that asset, after all expenses are done, makes about $130,000 a year. Is that fair? That's our net income. All expenses paid, $130,000 a year. So we go in, we do 130K, and if we divide that by a 3% cap rate, what is the value of that asset in 2020? What is it? $4.3 million? That's what that 10-unit apartment complex was worth in 2020. Today, 2025, what are interest rates at today, guys? They just went down to what? 6.23, right? 6.19? 6.23? Let's do a little higher. Let's do 6.23. Okay? Now, this is what you call your debt coverage ratio, guys. You can't cover your debt unless you're making enough money to do so. So your cap rate has to be equivalent at minimum to the price you're paying for the debt itself. Make sense? So banks are looking at assets based on its debt coverage ratio. It has to cover that 6.23%. We take this same $130,000. What is the value of that asset? $130,000 divided by 6.23%. What is it? 2.1? We'll even call it 2.1. Is that fair? $2.1 million, guys. 2025. There's $2.8 trillion worth of commercial real estate. Trillion. That's coming to the open market and has been coming to the open market right now because of this right here. A lot of syndicators, a lot of buyers, they go in and they try to get their debt as low as possible. So they do what's called a 5-1 arm. And they go in with a 5-year fixed rate mortgage. And then after 5 years, it goes back to a floating rate mortgage, adjustable. So if they were at 3% there initially in 2020, in 2025, when that becomes a 6.5% loan, guess what happens to their debt service? It goes up. The asset is worthless. Goes into bankruptcy. Right now, there's a lot of loan modifications that have been happening for the last 2 years in commercial real estate. Loan mods gave them the ability to displace the debt for a year, maybe 2 years, and then it goes back up to a volatile mortgage again. We're past that now. Some of these guys that were buying assets in 2018, 2019, 2020, the 5 years is gone. And now there's $2.8 trillion worth of assets that are coming to the open market. Now, you might sit back going, why is he talking to us about this right now? Why? Why am I talking to you guys about it? How many of you guys like knowing that stuff?
Opportunity.
That's where opportunity comes from. But even more so than opportunity, a lot of that stuff won't go to you guys. Just truth be told. Some of it will come to me. We're in a position where a lot of brokers, they're going to make a phone call to buyers that they know can close on assets. So when this stuff comes to the open market, you won't even see the vast majority of this. Some of this stuff will go to BlackRock. Some of this will go to Greystone. Some of it will come to small ownership groups like my own with Quad J Capital. It'll go to ownership groups where these guys know that buyers can buy cash and they can buy quick. Why do I do this? Because if I do a capital call and I take 100 grand from you, 100 grand, 200 grand, $250,000, I can put together on one email, guys, we can put together $4 or $5 million and go buy one of these assets in less than 2 weeks. Does that make sense? That's why I do this. Okay. Now, understanding that, are you guys okay if I teach you guys how to make hundreds of thousands of dollars and protect yourselves doing it by understanding how assets are actually evaluated, where you understand the value of the asset once it's completed and the cost to actually build it before you actually break ground? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. That's why you're here. Okay, because I've never lost money on any deal in over 28 years I've been doing real estate, And I was lucky that I didn't go through this and I didn't die in 2008 because I got that close, guys. But after 2008, 2010, I got really good at understanding real estate and underwriting of real estate because I got that close to losing strip malls and retail centers that were new construction that I couldn't stabilize. I had Albertsons, gone. I had Sprouts in one of my buildings, gone. I had Great Clips in one of my buildings, gone. And they were brand new buildings that we had leases. They just walked. They wrote us a check for a few $1,000s to exercise their release of lien and their limited liability, and they just walked out of their leases. I had empty retail centers, guys, empty. So why do we do multifamily? Because everybody needs a place to live. Make sense? Everybody needs a place to live. So if you guys go in and you understand this right here, we can protect you. Okay, now that's the goal. That's the goal, guys. Now, you guys ready to build some houses?
Yes.
Okay, let's build some houses. Now, when we talk about Southern Florida, I'm not just talking about, I'm not just talking about Miami, guys, because how many people live like right here in Miami? Raise your hand. Okay, so we got about maybe 20% of you guys. The other 80% of you guys don't live right here. Now, the cost of labor, cost of living is expensive right here in Miami, is it not?
Yes.
Yeah. Now, there's great opportunity in here for value add. There's great opportunity in here in the Miami area for adaptive reuse. You guys ever heard that word before?
No.
It's where you take a piece of shit and you make it beautiful. Okay, but it's not a fix and flip. It's where you take an old distressed asset like an office building and you turn it into something. If you guys can Google this. If you guys just Google, you guys pull out your phones and look at this one building. I have a lot of them, but I'll give you guys this one because we just finished this one about 10 months ago. 12600, 12600 north, just an N, just put an N for north. 113th Avenue. 12600 north, 113th Avenue. That's in Youngtown, Arizona. Okay. Now that was an office building that I overpaid for. It was for sale, not on sale. It wasn't on sale for nothing. I bought that building. I bought this retail center, guys, for $900,000. It was for sale for a year and a half. It's $700,000. When we went to the bank to buy it, they go, why would you overpay for this asset by $200,000? I said, because I'm going to make like $10 million on this asset. You know, that's why I'm going to over. They didn't get it at the time. So they only landed up. So actually we paid 1.3 million. It was for sale for 1 point. They had only given me 700 grand for the actual building. So they gave me a $700,000 loan. Then we landed up paying cash on the difference on that. Now we overpaid for that building. We leveled one building. We turned it into multifamily. It's 104 units of multifamily. We went vertical with 60 units and we converted the other ones, 44 units, into multifamily. If you guys look at the pictures of that asset, it's pretty freaking cool. Right? That asset, when we were done, guys, we were all into it for $14.3 million. $14.3 million, all in. Fully renovated, new construction, everything. We had it appraised for $36 million before interest rates started going back up. When we started construction, the value of that asset went all the way down to $21 million based on this, guys. How much are we in? 14.3. How are we still doing? Still okay, right? And what was cool about it is that when we actually landed up getting our stabilized loan, they evaluated it at $26 million. And now today it's probably worth about $31 million now that things are stabilizing. $14 million, guys. We pulled $5 million out of an asset when everybody else is going broke on assets. Okay. Why do I tell you this? I don't tell you guys this to brag. I tell you guys this because there's opportunity in small multifamily by building homes, but you got to start someplace. Make sense? Yeah. Okay. Okay, now, when we look at Miami, guys, is it okay if I erase this? You guys okay with that? I'll erase everything with that formula right there, okay? Let's go back in and let's erase everything but this formula. That formula is important, guys. Don't ever forget that formula right there, okay? I'm going to reiterate that multiple times. Okay, we're going to look at I need you guys to think, where do you get money from? Broke people or people with money?
People with money.
People with money, right? So when we go in, guys, the population is broken down like this. 74% of our population is median buyers, okay? 2% is the ultra wealthy. 24% of our population is the upper median, okay? The depending on what area of the country you're from, this can be volatile to a little bit, right? Like you go to Washington State, the average median income in Washington State is $180,000 a year. You look at it nationwide, the average median income is $80,000 a year. So when we look at this, it's all subjective to the area that you're actually in. Okay. Now here in Miami, we go into South Florida. You guys don't have economy here. You guys are like Arizona was in 2008. Okay. Why does Florida get hit by the volatility of the market? Because you guys don't have any economy here. All your money comes in from travel and leisure, the vast majority of it. So people that are born and raised and live here can't afford your real estate. Make sense? Why do I tell you that? You have to know that. You have to know who your buyers are. Your buyers that are coming in are coming from up from the Northeast, moving down. Those are your buyers. It's the retirees, the empty nesters. These are the folks that are doing it. Now, we don't function and we don't build for these guys. This is the vast majority of Florida right here. So these guys get hit with market volatility. So if there's an economic issue, these are the first people to get hit. 85% of our population, ladies and gentlemen, 85%. If they have a market volatility of $500 a month in their income, in 60 days, they're subjected to being delinquent and default on their mortgage, their car payments, and their credit cards. 60 days. That's a real live statistic, guys. 85% of the U.S. population. There's more people that have more month left at the end of their income. Okay? So why don't we build here? This is like fix and flipping, guys. And I'm going to show you guys that here in a little bit. Now, the ultra wealthy guys, don't be building $15 million homes on the water. Okay? I did this in Puerto Rico during COVID. We killed it on 2 houses, and I still own 1 lot there, and I just left. Why? Because I was playing Russian roulette in Puerto Rico during COVID. Okay? No one else was working. We were, and we were catering to the ultra wealthy. But we did 2 houses, and I knew I was pushing my luck. So we just walked out. We were building this house for $7 million, selling them for $15 million. We did 2. The second one we sold for 13. It was nicer than the first one. I was like, okay. We just took a $200,000 squeeze on this house, a $2 million squeeze on this house. We're out of here, and we still own 1 lot down in Baja in Puerto Rico. Okay, that's why you don't do this. This is where people can kind of go bankrupt, guys. But right here, the upper middle class, these are homes anywhere from $600,000 up to about $2 million. Okay, here in the southern Florida area. Don't go over this marker right here, guys. It's not worth it. Once you get over that, it becomes a lot more high risk. Now, there's 2 things that we're looking for. There's 2 things, guys. When we're looking at stuff, we're looking at what the banks are looking at. We're looking at the comps. We need to know that it produces the money we need, and we need the asset value. Okay, I want to know that the asset value supports my bill. So when we're going in and we're looking at this, we're looking at the market and we're looking at the comps. Why? Because that's what the banks are looking for. Make sense? Yes. That's what the banks are looking for, guys. And when you come in and you want to know what you're building, you're going to build exactly what that market is in need of in that market. We're looking at 2 things. We're looking at the days on the market, how many days it took for an asset to sell at the highest price per square foot. So we're looking at every asset based on the highest price per square foot and the value of that asset. How many days did it take for that actual asset to sell? Make sense? That makes sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Because how many of you guys want to sit on something for 200 days? No. How many of you guys want to service debt for 10 months on something when you're done? No. How many of you guys want to have a $1.5 million home and service the debt on it for 10 months when you're finished building? Anybody?
No.
Nobody. So what do we build? We build exactly what the market's taking to, the lowest days on the market and the highest price per square foot. Okay? And that's what we build. Now, when we talk about Southern Florida, not just here in Miami, if I was a doctor, if I was an engineer, if I was somebody who owned like a supply house, and let's say I was making $1 million a year, $500,000 a year, I have some affluency, I'm not wealthy, but I'm doing well, and I want to put my kids in good schools. I want to have a little bit of land. I want a better quality of life where there's not crime and there's better living. Where areas do I move to within an hour from Miami that give me those attributes, ladies and gentlemen? West End, where else? Pinecrest?
Palmetto Bay.
Pinecrest, what is it? Palmetto Bay?
Palmetto Bay.
Ave Maria.
Boca, Naples.
Parkland,
What that?
Parkland.
Parkland?
Yeah, Florida.
Okay. Now, when we go into these areas, guys, I want you guys to pay attention to what I'm telling you guys right here. This is very, very, very important, guys. Now, when we're looking for land, guys, we're looking for land. Land should never be more than 20%. So 15 to 20% of the overall value of that home. Once you get to the $2 million mark, you can hit up to 25%. But for the vast majority of homes that you guys are going to be building, it's going to be 15 to 20% of the resale value. Okay? Now, I don't care what land is listed for. I'm just not willing to pay more than this. Does that make sense? So when you go in, you guys are looking for land, and you're looking for an area, you assess what the value of those assets are first. Everything that we do is comp-based, guys. So when we find an area, we're not looking for land until we find the right area. We go into these areas first. And what we're doing is we're looking at comps. Why? Because we know that the bank, at some point in time, sooner than later, is going to look at comps. How many of you guys would love the bank to actually pay for the land on your behalf? How many of you guys would like that?
Right here.
Because how many of you guys have an extra 200 grand sitting in the bank to be able to go and buy a piece of land? Jim, right here? Okay, I'll talk to you a little later. We have some So, ladies and gentlemen, most people don't have 200 grand of expendable money. And one of the reasons, how many of you guys feel like if you built a $500,000 house, it'd be a safer place to start than a $1 million home? How many people feel like it's better to do that? Okay, I'm going to ask that same question here in a little bit, okay? And you guys can re-answer that question. Okay, now, when we go in, we do this, ladies and gentlemen, let's say that we go in, how much are houses selling for? Well, let's do this. Let me grab my phone. Let's just go in and let's go in a few of these areas. I know like Palm Beach, because I've actually built in Palm Beach, and one of my closest friends lives up there, Pat. So watch, he's been up there for a long time, since the 90s.
600 to
$1 million homes in Pinecrest, Florida. See, you guys don't even have to think anymore. Alexa will do it for you. She'll think for you guys. You don't have to think anymore. Okay, so there's some big houses, obviously, everywhere out here in Florida in the luxury market. So let's kind of scroll past all these $12 and $15 million homes. Okay, let's get some real price per square foot out here. Something real, guys, that we can leverage and utilize as an example.
Pinecrest might be the worst example on that whole list.
Is it? Okay. So how about like Palmetto Bay? Palmetto Bay. I don't know how to spell worth of shit, guys. So don't worry about my spelling.
Plantation.
Plantation, Florida. $1 million homes in Plantation, Florida. Okay. All right, guys. Shit, the first one's a $24 million home. Oh no, there's some smaller ones. Okay. You here in Florida, man, you guys get up to $3 million, I bet. I don't want to tell you guys that because we're getting ready to do one that's going to be a $4 million build over in West Palm. And for your first builds, guys, stay in here, guys. I'm telling you guys, the first couple. What ends up happening is you guys see the potential profitability in a $4 million home. But the problem with it is if it doesn't sustain. Did you guys hear what I said about the economy here in Florida? Yep. You guys don't have it. Your economy is all based on travel and leisure. It's exactly why Phoenix was one of the 5 worst places to own real estate in 2008. Florida was number 2. Okay, Las Vegas, New York, Florida, Arizona, and California, guys. Those were the 5 states that took the biggest beating in the 2008 recession. Arizona was travel and leisure. Now you go to Florida, all economics. They required their development team to go study Texas, okay? And Texas just has their shit together. Sorry, Florida, they just do, okay? They do. Texas has their shit together. And Florida hasn't caught on it. They're trying to. Amazon's coming. They're bringing some in. You guys still don't have it. You have to pay attention to what I'm telling you guys here in Florida, okay? Now, when we go in, guys, we want to stay away from that high-end market. But let's say we go in. There's a house here over at 10392 Harris Street, Fort Lauderdale. Okay, it's a $2.1 million home. It's 3,203 square feet. Okay, that one's good. Now let's go to the next screen. These ones are all too big. I don't want you guys messing with these. Okay, and then we're going to divide out the price per square foot. Okay, the 2.5 million. This one's a little big too. It's 3,800 square feet. About the same price per square foot. Okay, $2.3 million, 3,442 square feet, 1361 Northwest 116th Avenue, Fort Lauderdale. I'd rather be the small guy in a neighborhood like this than the big guy in a neighborhood like this. Make sense? Yeah. Like, I'm not going to go in and pull the trigger on a $3 million home when there's houses selling for $2.3 million. You know what I'm going to go build? I'm going to go build a $2.3 million home in that neighborhood. Now, I might try to sell it initially for 2.5, 2.6, but I'm okay if it sells for 2.3. So now we go into some of these other ones. $2.2 million, brand new construction. Oops. This one's at 830 NW Majestic Boulevard in Bella Terra. Plantation, 2.25. $2.1 million, 4-bed, 3-bath. It's a 3,134 square foot house, 330 Northwest 130 Avenue. Okay, $2.1 million. For this one, looks like it's part of a program subdivision. $2 million, $1.9 million, new build, 3,400 square feet. Let's use this one, guys. I'm just going to use this as an example on a price per square foot. So this one's 1.9 million, is 731 Coconut Palm Terrace in Plantation, Florida. Okay. So divide this out for me, guys. Do $1.99 million divided by 3431. Divide that out for me. What's the price per square foot?
580.
580? Okay, now do this one. This one's right down the road. This one is 1.89. Just do it at 1.9 million. It's like 1.899 million. Do 1.9 million, and the square footage is 3,300 square feet, right? Okay.
575.
575? Okay, so 575. Okay. Now I'm just going to go through a couple of these. 1.84 million. Go $1,849,000 square footage. 3,076, right? Yep. 3,076 square feet, guys. New construction.
601.
601? Okay, 601. Okay. Same thing. New construction. Let's go. That one's going to be too expensive per square foot. I want to stay closer. I'm going to stress my business model out for you guys. Yeah, I'm going to stress it out so that way I'm going to put as much downward pressure on my business model as humanly possible. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my lowest price per square foot at $575 a square foot. Because some of these are even bigger. Some of these homes are even old. We have one for $1.7 million for 2,999 square feet. 2,999 square feet. I don't know why they just didn't put 3,000 square feet on that one. Okay. So now, when we go in and we do this, I want you guys to pull out your calculators, because if you guys land up understanding this stuff, it's going to benefit you. Okay? Now, we have $575 per square feet. Now, all those homes were about 3,000 square foot. Let's say that we go and build a 3,200 square foot home. Okay? So if we build let's go build a little smaller. Let's build a 2,900 square foot home. Okay? And let's do a 2,900 square feet. What is 575 times 2,900?
1.6.
1.6 million? 1.7 million?
No, 1.667.
1.67 million. Okay, so we have a resale price of $1.67. Okay, so we take this resale price of $1.67 million, and we know that we are not going to pay more than 20% for our land. So if we take $1,670,000 and we multiply that times 20%, what is the cost of our land? 333. Okay, so we take $333,000 for the price of the land. Okay, I'm going to take the highest numbers on everything. Now, the national average, ladies and gentlemen, is $141 a square foot to build a single family home, according to the National Association of Home Builders. Okay, now, hold on. I've got one in the audience. Always one. Right. Hold on, my tongue go. I already talk fast, man. I can't talk any faster, guys. Come on. So look, guys. So $141 per square foot is the national average. Okay. Now, first and foremost, our product that we teach you guys how to build is going to cost you more than that, anyways. Our average price per square foot is about $155 a square foot. Now, if you're in Southern Florida, the cost of living is a little bit more. So in Florida, it's going to cost you guys probably a little more to build a custom house this big. So let's say that you guys have to hire a general contractor and you guys are putting more amenities in. Let's call this $185 a square foot. Okay, so we take $185 per square foot. Now, I know you could build that, and I'll tell you why. I build in Seattle. In Seattle, the cost of living is greater than what it is right here in Miami, believe it or not. The average income is higher than what it is here in Miami. The cost of living and the affordability is worse in Seattle than it is right here in Miami. Okay? Now, we can build in Seattle for $200 a square foot, and we were actually able to bring it down to about $185 a square foot because we source labor from Tacoma, Redmond, and some of the areas just outside of in the less affluent areas. You guys can do the same. Will somebody drive from like a Port St. Lucie an hour away to if you gave them a home that's $1.some million and an $80,000 contract on drywall? Will they do that? Yeah. So if you guys go in, you could build for a lower price per square foot, and I bet you guys can hit numbers close to $165 a square foot here if you really understand construction. Your first build, it ain't going to happen. But even at $185, if we take $185 times times 2,900, what is the price to build?
536.
536?
536.
How about 540? Can we round it up?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go 540, okay? So we do times 2,900 square feet, guys. Now, that's going to equal, so our build cost is going to be $540,000, okay? Put a little contingency in there. Now, we need the bank to take care of these two items right here, okay? We need them to take care of this $540,000, and we need the bank to take care of the land as well, this $333,000. So we need the bank to come to the table with $873,000, okay? This is what we need the bank to come to the table with, okay? How do we know it's going to sell for that, guys? How do we know it's going to sell for this price? What did we just do first? What did I just do? I'm going through, right? Like I did real fast ones. But you're going to go in, you're not going to use your sister, you're not going to use your buddy who's a firefighter that got his fucking contractor's his real estate license and needs a commission. You ain't going to use that bullshit. You understand me? Like, listen, guys, I'm cussing on purpose. I want your attention. Okay? But I'm talking to you guys, listen. My only incentive is your success. Okay? If you guys go out and you fail at this, I can't get you guys to resume up and invest in multifamily. I need you guys to go out there and win. I need you guys to go out there and make money doing this. Because if you fail at it, you're worthless to me. Okay? Because I can't go in and have you guys invest in my larger multifamily to help you guys resume in to smaller multifamily. Does that make sense? Yeah. It's a win-win situation. You know, my whole thing is, yeah, do I want you guys to succeed? Hell yeah, I want you to succeed. Because the second I help you guys succeed, you're going to trust me, you're going to like me, and you're going to go in and say, yes, I need to get into multifamily, and you're going to invest with me. Why do I bring that up to you guys? Because that's the only way you're going to get into larger projects. A bank will not lend you money unless you can resume into that project. If you go in on a $30 million build, $40 million build, $50 million build, and you have $100,000 in that build, you're an LP. You're a limited partner. You have ownership in it. That goes on your resume. That makes sense?
Yes.
That's how you resume into bigger projects, and that's how we raise capital for those large projects. Make sense?
Yep.
We're building an army, guys. We've been doing this for 8 years. Now we have thousands of people nationwide, and all we do is send out an email. You guys are going to be a part of that at some point in time sooner than later. Make sense?
Yep. My
incentive is you guys have to pay attention to what I'm telling you guys, because if you don't, you'll fail. And the last thing I want is you guys to fail, because if you guys fail, you're worthless to me and yourself and your spouses and your families. Make sense? Okay, so pay attention, guys. Banks are looking at the land value and they're looking at the house based on comps, okay? Now, we know that we need 873 based on comps. This is what we need right here, okay? Now, we have this underwriting spreadsheet. You need two things to get money from banks, guys. You need two things. Once you have an area and you have comps, you need two things. A bank will not give you money without these two things. You need a set of plans, and you need a budgeting spreadsheet like this. This budgeting spreadsheet right here is actually Victor and Linda's. Where's Victor and Linda at? They're outside talking. Yeah, this is actually one of their real builds down in San Antonio, Texas. And it has every single line item of every single number that's gonna go onto that bill, so that you don't forget anything. Okay, very important, guys. Because how many people don't build because you don't know what you're doing, right? You don't know what costs they are. So what you do, guys, you go through the process of entitlements. What's the process of entitlements? It's when you go in and you get a survey. Okay, you get a survey. That's number one. Number two, you hire an architect or a draftsman. Number three, you're going to get your engineers. You're going to need a civil engineer and you're going to need a structural engineer. Okay, these three things are going to cost you $15,000 to $17,000. Okay, that's your barrier of entry to be able to go out and build this right here. Okay, you can't build this without this right here. Does that make sense?
Yep.
What's your out-of-pocket outlay? This right here is your out-of-pocket outlay. Okay, you can't build it without that right there. If you don't have that right there, you really need to pay attention and listen up. Okay, because we need to get you out of that situation. Now, this doesn't come to me, guys. This goes to these folks right here. It's going to give you a set of plans. What's in that set of plans? Exactly what the comps are laying out for you and giving the asset value. What do you build? Exactly what's being built in that area. So we tell our communities, we say, look, guys, don't go out and reinvent the wheel. Don't be buying those bullshit prints that are on the internet. Hell with those bullshit prints. You don't need those, guys. Go in and literally see what has the lowest days on the market and the highest price per square foot. Those two things, okay? The houses that have those two items is the house you build. You can go to the city website. It's all public information. You can pull up the permits. You can take a screenshot of the floor plan with the dimensions on it. You can send that to your architect and say, copy this, change the elevations. All you have to do is change 5% and stop plagiarism. You just change one elevation on the house. That's 5%, guys. And you could build that exact same home. In Puerto Rico, we built the same house twice. Why? Because they were charging $300,000 for a set of prints. And let me explain this to you guys. You could build the same house and they won't even know that you're building the same house. Alec, my camera guy, standing right back there, he's been doing film for me for the last 7 years, guys. He's building a house right now. Everybody that works for me on my team has to build a house. It's a requirement. If you're working for me, you have to be building houses or you can't work for me. He's my camera guy. He's building a house, guys. He's taking a set of prints that I've used probably 50 times. And he's building one of my houses. I gave it to him and he's going in. You won't even know that it's the same house when you pull it up on the internet. I have two houses sitting side by side. You don't even know if they're the same home because we changed the elevation on them. But the floor plan, it sells. And if it's not broken, don't fix it. You copy. You make sense? Make sense? Yeah? Yeah. So in Puerto Rico, when we were building, guys, I had a house and we went in and we cost us $300,000 to get a set of prints. I went back to the same architect. I said, hey, do me a deal, man. Like, give me one for like 180 for God's sakes. He said, no. So I gave him the middle finger. I said, screw this guy. We flipped the floor plan. We changed the elevation. I had my local architect do it. And then we went back to work. It landed up costing me $3,000 instead of $300,000. And I built the same house right next door. Logan Paul, when he won that fight in 2000, his first boxing fight where he got a big payday, 2021 or 22, whenever it was, he went in and he looked at the house right there on Atlantic Boulevard in Puerto Rico. And he looked at it, he wanted the house, but it was sold. And he goes, I want this house because it's almost done. He goes, I have to buy it before the end of the year. I said, sorry, man, it's already sold. We already have their money. We can't sell it to you, but this house right next door is the exact same home. And he goes, no, it's not. He goes, it's not the same house. And I go, bro, it's the same house. We just took the elevator shaft and accented. We took that and changed it. And we did the stairwell shaft. We switched it and we put these trellises on it. You couldn't even tell. We changed the roof line. You couldn't even tell it was the same friggin' house. It took him going back and forth 4 times. And then he goes back in this. He goes like that. And then he goes, no fucking way. He goes, this is the same house. And I go, I know. I just told you that 15 times. And he didn't let him buy it because we didn't finish it till the next year. But I'll tell you guys that you can walk into those homes and you don't even know they're the same home. Okay? You copy exactly what's being built right there that's already proven concept. Don't even fix it. Just build it. That's all you need to do, guys. And then you go and you have the architect put it together for you, change the elevations, change the roof lines, and go in and just build exactly what's there. Now, when we go in and do this, the banks are going to require a few things from you on that spreadsheet, okay? You guys good with this? Can I erase this? Yeah? Okay.
I got a quick question.
Yeah, go ahead.
If they're building houses already, how can you get those plans and not have to pay so much money?
Bro, don't worry about that, bro. Just pay the money, man. Don't worry about that shit, man. Like people are trying to save $4,000. You're gonna make a few $100,000, man. Like, just pay the damn money, man. Like that question stresses me out. So I'm like, fuck, man. Like, here's the thing, man. Everybody wants a fucking Ferrari for the price of a Toyota. You ain't gonna get one, man. You might get a Toyota kit that looks like a Ferrari, but it's not a fucking Ferrari. Like, just buy the damn Ferrari. Look don't do it, dude. Don't do pre-printed prints. Don't fucking get on the internet. Don't buy that shit. I'm telling you guys, I would be doing it if it worked. Don't do that. I'm telling you, don't buy that shit. Don't go in and try to save money in your prints. Interview architects. You're going to save more money interviewing the right craftsman, the right architect. They're already doing shit anyways. In fact, I usually just scroll in to see who the architect was, and I get the name off it. I Google their phone number if it's not already on those prints, and I call the same damn architect. And the first phone call I make, I say, hey, Mr. whatever, Scott, you have a house over at 16913 Palms Bay Boulevard, and I love it. That house is friggin' gorgeous. That house you designed is badass. I love that house. In fact, I love it so much, I want you to draw me that same fucking house on this lot right here. I'm going to send you the survey. And you send it over to him, and you have him put that house on that lot. It's his. He owns that print. It's his. I said, I want a different elevation because I don't want anybody else to know. I don't care what Scott's charging me because I'm going to go make some money, especially on this house right here. And I care what he's charging me, right? Now, if I don't like his price, I'm going to also reach out to 5, 6 other architects in the area, but I want to make sure that they're capable. Did that make sense? One of the biggest issues that we have in our group, and I have over 200 and some odd of our members of our community that'll be here this weekend. Ask them. They've done it. They've tried doing that. And when they go and do that, they end up coming back and I tell them, look, guys, I tell you guys, don't be doing that bullshit. Don't do it. Like, if I tell you guys not to do something, don't do it. I've been doing this for 28 years, man. We've done over $600 million that we have in ownership. We probably have hit over $800 million in development. And I'll tell you guys, if I do $800 million worth of development and I'm telling you not to do something, don't do it, okay? Or go do it and don't call me, okay? Do whatever the fuck you want to do, okay? Now, when we go in, guys, we're going to have 2 spreadsheets, okay? We're going to have 2 spreadsheets. I'm not busting your balls. I don't mean to, but it was just a great question for me to elaborate and really highlight, like, what not to do, guys. Don't try to save money here, guys. Don't try to save $5,000 to go out and cost yourself a mistake. Spend it and just get it done. Because here's what's going to happen anyways. You're going to get that money back. It's only going to be tied up for a short time. Because on your spreadsheet here, if you're going to go through this spreadsheet and you're going to take your set of prints to the bank, okay? You're going to take your prints to the bank. All of this right here, you're going to take to the bank because that's how they're going to assess the value of that asset. Now, if you've ever went to a bank before and you asked for a construction loan and got a no, here's why. Because the first question they're going to ask, say, what's the address? Oh, I don't have an address. They're like, well, where are you going to build? Well, I don't know. Okay. Do you have a set of plans that we can look at to see what we're going to give you a loan on? No, I don't have that either. So, okay, so how do they assess it? Where are you going to build? How are you going to build it? What land are you going to build it on? No. Guess what the bank's going to tell you? No. Bye. Okay? You can't get a construction loan on an asset, guys, unless you have a set of prints and a spreadsheet. Okay? Now, when we go in and we go through this spreadsheet, guys.
Excuse me, do you have an example of that spreadsheet?
Yeah, you have to come this weekend to join us. Okay? It's the only part for our community and our attendees, okay? Trying to protect something. All right. Okay, now, when we come in, guys, on this spreadsheet, there's the land, and there's the land. There's going to be your cost for architecture. These are your soft costs. There's going to be your dirt work. You're going to have your foundation. You're going to have your framing. You're going to have your framing labor. You're going to have your plumbing and mechanical. You're going to have your electrical. You're going to have your doors. You're going to have your roof. You're going to have all your line items for everything in that house on this spreadsheet. Everything on the budget, guys, going to be on this spreadsheet. Now, why do we do our workshops, guys? Because I'm going to teach this to you guys in black and white. But tomorrow, we bring color to this because I only have enough time to go over so much with you guys. Just understand that the bank is going to approve this spreadsheet based on these comps right here. Now, we know that we only need 873. So if we go in, guys, this is going to be our execution spreadsheet. Okay, this is our execution spreadsheet. Now, this is going to read at 873. Okay, now, when we go in, we're going to also have closing fees. What's 6% of $1.6 million, guys? What's 6% of 1.67 million? $96,000? 96? Is that right? 96? Is that right? Oh, no. What is it? How much is it? 100,000. Okay, so we got $100,000. Okay. Okay, so we got 100K. Now, we're also going to have our lending fee. Okay, we're going to have our debt service on this. Now, our debt service on this is going to be right around $40,000. I'll put 45K. Okay, just put 45. Now, our total cost is 973. Let's see, 973. 1 million. What is that? 1,012,000. Is that right? 1,012,000. 1.1 million. 1.12. What's 45,000 plus 100,000 plus 873? Everything in purple, guys. What is that? 973.
1.01.
1.01. 1,010,000. Okay. Okay. So this is our total cost, guys.
Sorry, the lending fee is the origination.
Yeah, with the origination fees, and then you're going to have your debt coverage. But they don't go and just give you $873,000, guys. This bill will probably take, actually, let's go ahead and do this at 60,000. It's going to take a little bit longer. I'm doing that based on a 6-month bill. This is going to take you about a year. Let's do about $60,000. That's 20,000 of that. So let's do $1,030,000. Okay, it's going to cost you about $60,000 in lending. Okay, for this big of a house. So we have $1,030,000 minus 1.67 million. So take $1,670,000 minus $1,030,000. What is that? What is it? About 540. Yeah, about 540, right? Okay, so our net out is going to be $540,000.
Oh, nice.
Okay, someone just leaned up against the lights, guys. You guys can put those back up. There you go. Good job. Good job. All right, there we go. Okay, so 500. So we have 540,000.
Yeah.
640.
640. Oh, 640. 640. Even better.
Even better.
Okay, 640. Okay, so we have $640,000. This is our net out right here. It's 640. How are you doing, guys? How are you doing? Okay. Okay. Now, even if lending cost you $100,000, you're still ending up making $600,000 on your bill. Okay. It's not the cost on this one, guys. It's a short-term loan. Now, listen up, guys. Pay attention to this. Okay. This is where most people lose it right here. You need 873. Okay, to build this house. This is a pass-through cost. This right here is going to be what's called a deduction of proceeds. Okay, this $60,000 is going to be a deduction of proceeds. Okay, now what are our proceeds? Well, let's go in. We take the exact same numbers. We take the land, we take our soft costs, we take the dirt work, the foundation, we do the framing materials, framing labor, we do the plumbing, mechanical, electrical, doors, roof, windows, we do our tile, our flooring, our bathtub, our fixtures, everything, all the way down. We add a management fee, and we add a development fee in there. Now we add about 15 to 20% to every single line item. Because the banks, guys, they know you're not working for free. They know that. In fact, they are going to sit back. Nobody on this earth is walking into a house with $700,000+ in equity. Nobody. The banks know that. So you're not pulling the wool over their head. The banks are auditing this spreadsheet right here, and it has to make sense based on these two things right here. Now, if you go in and you only underwrite it at this, they're going to give you a loan based on that. And they're going to say, okay, that's all you need? Cool. They want the house done. Now, if you don't get it done, you're going to have to fund the difference. So this is for you and for you only. This one is for the bank. This one is going to be underwritten at about $1.6 million. You walk in with $70,000 in equity, you're doing pretty damn good. So if the bank only gives you 75%, loan to cost or loan to value, depending whether you're doing an owner build and you're doing a one-time close on a construction loan, they're gonna give you 75%
Say 1.2.
of 1.6 million. So if you take 75% of $1.6 million, what is that number, guys?
1,200,000. I mean, yeah, 1,252.
Let's say it's $1.2 million. The bank is willing to give you a loan for $1.2 million based on comps and asset values, because we know we have a 2,900 square foot house. We know that the resale comps support that $1.67 million. The bank at a 75% loan to cost will give you up to $1.2 million. Let them approve you for that. You don't get charged the interest unless you use that. Don't use it. You guys hear me? Don't touch it. Don't use it. You only use what you need. Okay? We need 873. If we have interest payments, people are sitting back going, okay, how do I make the payments on this loan? It's called interest reserve. Okay? They do a deduction of proceeds. They reduce your proceed amount. So even if they took $100,000 out of that, you still will get $1.1 million. Now, that is incurring interest on the back end. Your interest reserve is paying for itself based on a reduction of proceeds that they're willing to give you. So you don't pay it, it's paying itself. You just have to execute, manage, and get the bill done. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay, now, you only need 873 now, and you have a reduction of proceeds there. We go in and we build the house, guys. You go in, you execute, and even if it lands up costing you a little bit more and you make $500,000, no one's feeling sorry for you. Even if your economy falls out, you have to take a $100,000 deduction on the price or reduction on the price, no one's feeling sorry for you. Even if you had to take a $200,000 reduction in the price, no one's feeling sorry for you. Why do I say that? Because in 2008, guys, when I went through the 2008 recession, where I really felt it was starting in late October, early November of 2008. I was in denial until that point in time. I felt it very, very aggressively in November of 2008. In January of 2010, I sat back and I remember in 2009, I sat back and I told my wife, I said, look, I go, baby, I don't care if you go and spend $100 on a blouse at Neiman Marcus, or you go to Ross and you spend $10 on 10 blouses. Don't buy them. We literally had our debt service put together where I had about 3 months where I could sustain the mortgage payments on those buildings. And all of our proceeds from the banks had been cut for all of our retail centers. And I remember it took us until April of 2009 to really start pushing out of that, where we were actually breaking even, because we were servicing over 6 figures a month in debt service just to keep ourselves afloat at that time. And if I had to go into April or May, we would have been scrambling big time, and we would probably end up having to hand back a building to one of the banks. We got lucky enough that I worked hard enough that we didn't have to do that. In January of 2010, guys, the 2009 calendar year, my dad came to me and he goes, Jerome, like New Year's or something, he goes, Jerome, I hope you have some money set aside for taxes for this year. Because my dad was an accountant for 32 years and he worked for me for 20. My dad sat back and he goes, Jerome, I hope you have some money put aside for taxes for this year. And I said, I'm not going to pay taxes. I didn't make no freaking money last year. He goes, oh yeah, you did. You have about an $800,000 tax bill coming. I said, there's no friggin' way I have $800,000, Dad. He goes, I didn't make no money. I fire sold every house. To me, it felt like I wasn't making money because I was servicing 6 figures a month in debt service, paying for these buildings, just trying to get them, keep them established. But I was making money on my houses. I didn't know. We had 57 homes, guys. We sold 55 of 57 homes in 2009. I fire sold everything. And the lowest profit that I made on one house was $48,000. The second worst house was $52,000. Guys, everything else we made in excess of $70,000 on every single home. And I didn't know it because I felt like I wasn't making any money because I was servicing the debt on our retail centers. But in January of 2009, I sat back and I said, holy shit. I said, so we're making money, Dad? And we went back, we audited the books. I told my dad, I said, shit, that's good news and bad news. Bad news, I had a shit ton of taxes I had to pay. Good news, and I knew how I was going to pay it. But the good news was I was like, shit, we can make money building houses. I went back to every single subcontractor, guys, and I went to every single one. I said, look, I can't afford to pay you what I was paying you, but I'll tell you what I can afford. And if you could build for that amount, awesome. Let's keep building houses. If you can't, I get it. I'll find a contractor that can. We went back and we continued building, guys, in a housing market compressed. I mean, this is the largest housing compression that the US has ever seen, guys. In 2008, guess what got us out of the housing compression, guys?
Real.
Houses, guys, houses. How do I know this works? Because it took me through the 2008 recession, guys. Why do I tell you guys to build this stuff? Because there's so much profitability in here. Even if you jack shit up, you can still make money, okay? Now, on the contrary, guys, on the contrary, okay? On the contrary, okay? Let's talk about smaller ones. Oh, and PS, by the way, this $15,000, it's right here. You guys are allowed to take that money out, okay? It's that second line item. Your first draw, you're going to replace this money. Why? Why?
You took it out of pocket.
Yeah, but why? You said that? Yeah. It sounds like you take that, you funded it, you're going to go find lot number 2, and you're going to go in and start your next one. Why? Because the second you're done with this build, you're going to have a second one entitled, ready to go. So the second the title company cashes in and sends you your check, and you get this in the bank, you get this in your bank account. The next day, you have a permit-ready set of prints ready to turn dirt on your next project. And you start on it immediately. You don't start the process then, you start it immediately. Because now you got your money back, you use your own money that you had in this bill, you replenish it, you're allowed to. The bank approved your spreadsheet with your loan. They allowed you to do that. Now you go in, you pull that money back out, and you start build number 2. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, now, the contrary, guys, the contrary. Let's go in and let's do this. You guys got another 5 minutes in you, yeah?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
Yeah, I see a couple people sleeping. Wake up! Oh, shit, that's me.
Jerome, quick question. If
Yes,
you
sir.
say hands and you said you just have to elevate the lot, you have to spend money on the elevation, right? And then, like, if you gotta modify a little thing here and there, you have to still spend money on the, like, filling up the lot if you're gonna elevate the house, no?
Yeah, I mean, that's all going to be in your bill cost, right? So, you know, are you going to be here tomorrow? You going to be here tomorrow? You need to be, okay? I'm going to have Victor and Linda get on stage and explain that to you guys. Don't complicate this right now, guys. I'm teaching in black and white. And so one of the big things, those are great questions. And I have a ton of my community here. You guys will have an opportunity, like Bruno standing back here. This guy in his first build, he owned a pizzeria, guys, a pasta restaurant. He's an immigrant, not even from this country, guys. He took one build on, been a part of my community for, what, a year and a couple months? Year and a few months?
Yeah.
What did you make on your first friggin' build, bro? $1.7 million, guys, first build. Put your hands together for this gentleman. Less than 2 years, guys. Never built before in his life. Victor and Linda and these guys, we have so many community members. Miranda's here. I've got so many community. All that stuff, easy answer to that stuff. We will show you tricks. I'm like the tricks bunny, man. We'll be pulling magic tricks out of hats for you guys. Okay, that just comes with experience. Yeah.
Saturday and Sunday.
Saturday and Sunday. Yeah, I'm going to get there in 1 second, guys. I'm going to get there in 1 second. Just know, you guys are here in Miami. Just know you guys are very lucky sitting here today. Okay, because we're at a sold out event. We don't need you here, but you need to be here. Like, if we don't need you here, literally we're oversold. Like, we don't need you to buy a ticket. We don't. But you need to be here, and we're here in Miami. So we did this for you guys. Like, the real reason you guys are here isn't for me, guys. The real reason you guys are here is for you. Okay? We don't need you to show up. We are 100% full. In fact, it's going to jack up catering tomorrow. We'll fix it. I'll have Esther work on that before we actually give them the numbers. Okay? But here's the thing, guys. When we go in, let's say we do a little $500,000 bill and play it safe. Okay? Now, if we do the same thing, let's take the 15% instead of the 20%. What's 15% of 500K?
7.5.
What is it? 75,000?
Yes.
75. Okay. Now, the average cost to build is $141 a square foot. Let's go even better. Let's go down to like $135 a square foot. Okay? We're going to build a less affluent home. Let's go under the national average of 135. Let's call this house like 2,200 square feet. Okay? 2,200 square feet. Now we go in times $135 a square foot. What's 135 times 2,200?
297.
297?
Yes, sir.
Okay, 297. Okay. Now we're going to go in. Our closing cost on a $500,000 house is what?
30,000.
Is how much?
30,000.
$30,000. Okay. Now our debt service on this is going to be about $25,000. We still have origination fees, we have all the costs, we just have less interest. So we have about 25K, okay, on our debt service. Now, we go in, we add these up, guys, we have 75,000, add these up, 75 plus 297 plus 30 plus 25, what is it?
427.
427. $427,000, okay? That means we have a $73,000 profit, okay? $73,000 profit. Not bad, right?
No.
Not too bad. 73K, that's our net. Okay, $73,000. Now, we go and do this exact same spreadsheet right here, and we know that we only need these two right here, okay? We need about $375,000, plus we need the $30,000 in debt service for a reduction in proceeds. So we know we're gonna need $405,000, right? 405? 405K is what we need, okay, in order to build this house. If we take 75% of $500,000, and we put this on our spreadsheet of 500K based on comps, what is 75% of $500,000, guys?
375.
375? 375. This is what the bank is willing to give you. Okay? You need 405. Guess where the other $30,000 comes from? You. That $30,000 comes from you. And you can't replace this $15,000 because you don't have enough money in there. So now that money gets stuck in there. So not only can you not replace your money, you have to come out of pocket $30,000 to build a $500,000 house.
Sorry, can you repeat again why you have to spend the 30K?
What? Why you have to spend 30K? Because your debt service. Oh, because look, you need $405,000 in order to build a house. The bank is only willing to give you $375.
Oh, the 75%, yeah.
Based on 75% loan to cost, loan to value. So when you're doing fix and flips, what ends up happening is a $500,000 house is a larger liability to the bank than a $1.67 million home, guys. There's more equity in a $1.6 million home because of the assets and the comps than there is a little $500,000 house. If the bank feels that it's a large liability for them, why do you think it's safe, is my question to you. Does that make sense? The bank will not let you walk out of there with more than $375. You will be responsible for coming to the table to close that loan with $30,000 minimum. And your $15,000 gets locked in there until you sell that house. You can't get no proceeds out because you can't afford to. Make sense?
Yes.
You're better off going bigger than smaller because it's safer not only for you, but also for the bank. It's all based on comps and asset values. Okay? So understand, ladies and gentlemen, that's why we teach this stuff. You're doing fix and flips, you're trying to play it safe, and all you're doing is costing yourself heartache and havoc. Does that make sense? No, it doesn't. It'll make no fucking sense at all. Don't do it. Don't do it. Okay? Don't do it, guys. Yeah. And so you're going to have to come to the table with more money, guys. So if you've ever went to the bank and say, oh, well, I need more money, that's why. Now, if you don't do the spreadsheet right and you are building houses like this, they've required money out of you, it's because you haven't done your spreadsheet correctly. Okay? It's all how you underwrite the spreadsheet. Now, I don't have time to go through every line item today, but guess what I do have time for this weekend? To go through it with you guys this weekend. Okay? Why do I do the Build Wealth Workshop? Because it's the only opportunity where you guys get to spend 16 hours with me. There's no other speakers. I do have one friend coming in tomorrow. I mean on Sunday. I got one friend coming in for 50 minutes to talk on Sunday. That's it. Everything else, guys, is me or one of my students that's been working with me. So it's my business model. Make sense?
Yep.
We go through an underwriting spreadsheet. We teach you guys how to underwrite residential tomorrow morning. We go through this. Your head and brain will hurt. You're gonna need to get some rest. Guys, it's a lot. But we're gonna video record it. We have like 4 cameras that are gonna be running. We're gonna video record everything for you guys. You're gonna take notes. We're gonna give you a 16-hour crash course that's gonna blow your brains because you just are friggin', you're gonna be mentally exhausted at the end of the weekend. You will be. It's gonna feel like algebra class. You'll be like, oh shit, you know? It will be. I'm just telling you. But you're gonna be able to take it back, and there's no test. Your test is execution. Does that make sense?
Yep.
That's your exam, is execution. Here's the thing, guys, is that when we do this, we're going to do the residential. Then in the afternoon tomorrow, we're going to go through multifamily. Multifamily is not that much different than the residential. In fact, the multifamily up to about 30 units is almost identical as it is for the residential. And that's where the money is right now, is in the small multifamily. It's not in the big stuff, guys. Like if I told you guys how we're pulling 150 unit, 200 unit builds out of the ground right now, you guys don't even want to understand and know that right now, because there's no money in them. I'm building them for free right now. Literally building all of my large multifamily, I'm building it for free. Why? Because the back end, 5 years from now, we're going to have a heyday with our cash outs. But for today, we're just building it for free. Okay? Now, here's the thing, guys. If you guys have another 5 minutes, as long as it took me to do this example right here, I'm going to show you guys why we talk about multifamily, why it's important. It's going to take me 5 minutes. But before we do that, guys, my team is walking around with registrations for the QR code. Okay? It's $797 to attend. I'm going to give you guys the same discount that I give every other city across the United States when we host these. We don't advertise these events, guys. You won't see an ad on Facebook. You won't see them anywhere. Because if we advertise them, we will have a full event in less than 2 weeks. And we'll have people from all over the country that will be coming out, but they don't get it. The reason that I offer it to people and they have to come in, the only people that are invited are people that come in and they sit in these chairs and spend an hour and a half with me looking at what we're doing here. You know why? Because I know you guys are better individuals, because only 5% of our population will invest in themselves, and that includes time. And so being that you guys came out and you guys sat in the chairs separates you guys from the vast majority of the other people in your area, because you guys took the time to come out and invest in yourselves today. So I've already separated you, and you already qualified yourself into being a higher level individual just by being here today. Either that or you just don't have nothing going on. One or the other. You know? Come in, we should have a popcorn machine in the back for you. That's the case, right? Or, ladies and gentlemen, you guys get to come in. Now, here's the thing, guys. Tomorrow, here's what it looks like. In the morning, residential underwriting. We're going to go through this hard. I'm going to teach you guys how to build business lines of credit. You'll understand tomorrow why. Entity structuring, super important. Okay? We're going to hit that in the morning. Then, at lunchtime, we break. I paid for the whole ballroom next door. I feed you guys. You guys don't leave any place. You guys don't have to look for restaurants. You guys don't have to go any place. I will feed you guys. We're having steak and fish and chicken and salads and a great lunch. You're going to network with the people that are in there that have come from all over the country and right here in Miami. Then we're going to come back and we're going to do multifamily. We're going to underwrite multifamily. We're going to go through a similar spreadsheet, but different. It's a multifamily spreadsheet. So if you guys get private money, you guys get hard money, you guys get institutional money, you can account for any type of debt or equity that you need in the afternoon to be able to underwrite multifamily, okay? Then on Sunday, it's our Millionaires Workshop. It's the second time only that I've ever done Millionaires Workshop. The first time that I did it was in Nashville in, what was it, June or something like that? July, something like that? So in Nashville, guys, I've only done Millionaire Workshop one time. What ends up happening is that people come in, if you make $640,000, the average American spent $750,000. Okay? They're like, shit, I got $640,000. That ain't how we teach you guys. We go in our Millionaire Workshop, we teach you guys how to compound that money. The reason every single one of my shirts says compound your success is because the way wealthy people, millionaires and billionaires, become wealthy is by compounding their money. So on Sunday, we teach you how to take this one build, $200,000 profit, $250,000 profit, and we teach you guys how to compound that into $2 million, $3 million, $4 million worth of lending power and buying power. Does that make sense?
Yep.
That's how we get you guys into multifamily. Okay? You don't have to do multiple of these. You need one build to change your life, guys. One. Let me explain something to you guys. When we go in tomorrow, we talk about building business lines of credit. Okay? 85%. No, I'm sorry. 85% don't. 95%. Let me get the stats right here for you guys. 95% of new businesses fail in the first 12 months of them executing, guys. 95% of every new business open in the United States will fail in its first year. Out of the 95% of those businesses that fail, 85% of them don't bear a profit until year number 3. Guys, year number 3. So if you go in, guys, and even if you made a $200,000 profit your first year, You're in the top 0.2% of all money earners in new businesses since the history of Adam and Eve, guys, in all existence. When you go in, you guys ever went to a bank and a banker comes to you with a little iPad and they sit there and they go, and the banker comes up to you and says, hey, sir, how are you today? Can I help you with the transaction? What are you here today to do? They get as uncomfortable as you just did, right? What can I help you, right? You're going to do a deposit, you're going to do something, or you need cash. You got your ATM card with you? Can I have it? No, you don't need it. Okay? Sir, you qualify for a line of credit today with a Bank of America Visa card. Would you like to take that today, sir?
Yeah.
How many of you guys said no to that, guys? You won't get any more. You're going to take it from here forward. Okay? Here's the thing, guys. You know those that when you're a freshman in college, you guys, how many of you guys went to college and went into the registrar's office? You go and register for your classes. Right afterwards, you make your way to the book, you go down to the bookstore to buy your books for your classes, right? And when you go to the bookstore, what's on the front of the bookstore at every single university across the entire United States? There's a table. And at that table, there's applications for your very first credit card to welcome you in to debt. And every single freshman gets a $2,000 credit card. Congratulations. Every brand new business owner also gets a $5,000 to $10,000 credit card by being a brand new business owner. You're going to take that, and we're going to teach you how to compound that money and take it into lending power so that you can do multiple of these at one time and de-risk your projects. Make sense? Okay. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you guys want to see why I build multifamily? You guys got another 3 minutes in you?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yes.
I see some tired people. You okay? All right. If you didn't get the QR code, you also got a link in your phone, guys. You also got a link in your phone. But they'll check it. Okay, now, when we go in, ladies and gentlemen, here's why we build multifamily, guys. Small multifamily. Going in and building a 3,000 square foot home is equivalent to building like a little 8-unit, 6-unit apartment complex, okay? I'll tell you guys, go in, try to do a 6 to 10 unit right away. 10 units, awesome, okay? But if you go in, guys, and you do a little 10-unit apartment complex, you do a little 10 unit, you're gonna land up spending probably about maybe $200,000 to $300,000 for land. Bruno, how much did you pay for that land on that 27 unit that you did?
125.
125,000?
Yeah.
Okay, so 300,000 is still a lot of money, right? Okay, so 300K. Now 10 unit. This little 10-unit apartment complex, based on average rents, guys, about $1,750 a month, is going to be worth someplace around $2.2 million. Okay. Now, when we go in and we build this, the IRS says that we can do what's called cost segregation against this build right here. Okay. Now, this thing is worth $2.2 million. The IRS tells us we cannot depreciate land, so we'll subtract that from that. That only gives us $1.9 million of depreciated value, okay, that we can take. Now, on this $1.9 million, guys, we can take that to what's called bonus depreciation in year one, okay, in year number one. Now, when we go in on year one, we can take 100% of this all in year one. You don't have to pay federal income taxes until you earn $1.9 million in net taxable revenue. So if you're working as a nurse, a firefighter, a cop, a doctor, if you're an investor, doesn't matter. If you're making 120 grand a year doing whatever profession you do, and if you pay $30,000, $40,000 in federal income taxes, at the end of the year, you're going to get 100% of that money back. Make sense? 100% of your tax money comes back to you. Not only that, that extra $500 plus $1,000 that you made building the house, you pay no taxes on that. It's tax free. Why is it important to do two houses? Because after you do one, you're going to want to expense the second one into your next build. Why after your second house do I encourage all of you guys to get into commercial real estate? Because at some point in time, you're going to have to pay taxes, guys. Nobody wants to go out and make $550,000, $600,000 and then cut the IRS a check for 200 grand. Take the risk, the banking, the headache, the stress. This is a real business, guys. There is going to be stress in it. There is going to be good days and bad days. It's life, guys. It's part of life. Nobody wants to go through all of that bullshit and then have to cut a check to the IRS for $200,000.
I have a question about the cost segregation.
Tell me. I'm listening.
I don't know if I did mine wrong or what, but I have 8 units that I bought, and I did a cost segregation study.
I'll put you in contact with United Tax Services, and they can help you.
Okay.
They're one of my affiliates. They're the ones that do my cost setting. I can talk to you about it afterwards too. Okay? So no problem. I got you, brother. So ladies and gentlemen, we come in, you have $1.9 million. Here's the thing, guys. Until you have $1.9 million in net taxable income, you pay no federal income taxes. Not only that, you'll have about $700,000 in equity in this. You could sell it, make the $700,000. The only problem with that is now you have an additional tax liability. Or after you pay the debt service on this, you'll have about $32,000 left over with today's interest rates, and this will be profit, okay, per year. It's only $32K. There's people that work 30 years and don't get $32,000 a year. That 10-unit build is about a 6 to 7 month build. How long did it take you to build 27 units, Bruno? 9 months, guys, to build 27 units.
Where is that?
It'll take you 7. It'll take you. His is in Arkansas, Little Rock. Guys, that's probably freaking Little Rock, Arkansas, guys. Fucking works in Little Rock, Arkansas. Wouldn't run fucking in Miami. That's as bad as Albuquerque, guys. I tell people like, oh, you're not in my area. I'm like, fuck, I know, I'm in fucking Albuquerque. I'm like, shit, you can get rich in Albuquerque, you can fucking get rich anywhere. You know, I was like, the market sucks. You have no economy, shit. We don't even have travel and leisure in Albuquerque. At least you guys have that, okay? So look, guys, $32,000 per year profit, that's your passive residual income, guys, for the rest of your life, and it'll continue going up forever. $700,000 worth of equity, and you're able to go in and cost segregate that against the bill, so you don't pay federal income taxes. And 100% of this money is tax-free, 100% of that money is tax-free, and whatever you're doing as a full-time job is also tax-free, until you get $1.9 million. When do you sell it? Never, until you build something bigger. Just let it cash flow, just own it. And then when you're ready to build something bigger, or never sell it, guys. Why do we build in whole? For that reason right here. Why will I build them for free? For that reason right there, guys. I will build them for free, take advantage of the cost segregation that we're able to do, and I'll just build them for free. I'll live on the cash flow, and then when I'm able to go in and the values go back up and they go in the opposite direction of what I showed you when we started, I'll take my cash out of those properties and we'll go build even more. There will be a time in the next 5 years that all the shit that I built now during the increased interest rates, we'll probably pull $100+ million of cash out of every single one of those properties. And here's what's cool. When the value of that goes back up, you can refinance this, take this $700,000 out, tax-free, and it doesn't even go against this $1.9 million because this is a loan. And you go in, and it's a loan, guys. It's not even income. And you can continue getting your cash, but you take this money out, and now all it does is print cash for you for the rest of your life. And now you can take that $700,000 and just let that shit go into something else. Make sense? Yep. That's why we talk about multifamily tomorrow, guys. And that's what we'll teach you guys on Sunday. That's one of the most important things. Now, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of you guys will end up becoming a part of our community because we have the best community in the country, guys. Hands down, we do. You guys will meet them this weekend. And one of the things that you'll realize how strong our community is. I'm a little rough around the edges, guys, and I'm not going to apologize for it. I've gone rich doing what I do, how I do it, and I'm going to be unapologetic. I can see people's energy when I curse and I do different stuff, and I'm like, good, I'll push your buttons all day long. Because I don't need you. If that makes you quit, then just quit. I don't need you. It doesn't matter to me. It only costs you an opportunity, truth be told. But here's the reality of it, guys, is that I'm rough around the edges. I teach you guys the way I was coached. I'm not a teacher, guys. I don't claim to be a teacher. I teach you guys what I've learned, but I was never professionally sculpted to be a teacher. I was coached. I was a Division I athlete. I wrestled all the way through college, and my coaches called me a puss every single day. So my wife was, I hate when you use that word. It's just like that word. There's something about that word. You know, she was just, it just doesn't sit good with me. I said, I know, but I was called a pussy by my coach every single day in college when I was in college. Coach B, like, you guys are all a bunch of pussies. Yeah, you guys are a bunch of pussies. Come on, stop being a bunch of pussies. That's all I heard all day long. So, guys, let me tell you guys something. The damn good freaking coach, guys. We had national athletes, man, Olympians that came out of our program and stuff, and that's just the way I was coached my entire life. If you don't like it, I'm sorry. It's all I know. I'm going to train you guys the way I was coached, okay? Because it's all I know, okay? I'm rough around the edges, but down we're good people, man. You guys can go in. You guys can search me upside and down. There's only one bad thing on the internet against me. Some guy says Jerome commits fraud. this fucking dipshit rented a house from me and he friggin' didn't pay me on a corporate lease. And I have one thing on there because, and you read it, because he let my water heater go out when my wife was pregnant. And guys, we landed up going in on his corporate lease and we landed up getting about $100,000 settlement from him fucking my house up. So he was pissed and he landed up writing a bad review on me. Only thing you'll ever find on the entire internet. You'll never find nothing bad on me. You know why? Because I won't lie, cheat, or steal from any of you guys. I have no incentive. I don't need you guys. I need you guys to go in and become successful. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I don't need your money. I don't need, what I need is I need you guys to pay attention because we're building something here. You guys want to be a part of it? Iron sharpens iron. But let me tell you how iron sharpens iron. Iron sharpens iron with friction, guys. You don't sit there and rub them together like sticks and create a fire. It's the friction that creates the heat, that creates a fire when you rub sticks together. You know what sharpens metal? Friction. That's friction that sharpens metal, guys. You guys are part of our community. Iron sharpens iron. We will help you succeed because I have no other incentive but to help you make it. If you don't make it, it's on you. If you make it, it's also on you. But here's the thing, guys. You guys have an opportunity to come in and take advantage of our workshop this weekend. Embrace it. You guys, thank you guys. I'm going to stick around up here. God bless you guys. And thank you guys.